So once again, it is payday and now you want to spend, right? You've been in that situation. You want to get that new clothes, you want to go in that nice restaurant, or you want to do other things, but you also feel really stressed because you feel that you don't have control of your money and you don't have a plan and the money just rush out and then you live paycheck to paycheck every single month and feel very stressed about this. And I understand because I've been in your shoes, literally. If you have 42 EU shoe size, definitely at least. I understand what you mean. And there is a solution to this problem. So let's talk further about this with something I really like. Make budgeting easy. I understand all the memes around budgeting. Oh no, budgeting, I don't like it. But it is really good for your future and yourself to have the control of having a budget. So what is actually the risks of not having a budget? Number one, we have spending all of it. As soon as the payday comes around, I've been there myself, spend it all and then think that is not the way forward. Also mentally tracking instead of actually tracking it down. This can lead to overspending, which leads to something else, which leads to the risk of living paycheck to paycheck. So you can see that there's many risks with not having a solid budget. But there is a solution to the problem. That today we're gonna go through simple steps and I will guide you to what you can do with your money. I will also show you an easy routine that you can use to eliminate the stress of the finances that you have and plan ahead instead of living in fear. Let's face it, we all fear not having enough money at the end of the month. So this is definitely something that I feel is very important to get control over. All of this will lead you eventually out of debt. You live a less stressful life and you can actually enjoy the money that you have worked so hard for. And if you think that I'm looking down a little bit, that is because I'm watching the presentation as well while we're going through it together. So what is today's highlights? Well, budgeting for beginners as a whole. But we're gonna go through 4 specific pillars today. So the first one is the goal of budgeting. And then we're gonna go through the method. What is the method that you can use? You can start using today. And very simply, there is more than one way, but I like this way. And we're gonna talk, of course, of everyone's absolute favorite topic, which is the savings and the investments that is talking loudly about nowadays. And also, I'm gonna show you on my spreadsheet how to set it all up and how to get started today. So let's start with something very important first. We have the budgeting mythbuster. So there's many myths around budgeting. So for example, one of these is that many people think that budgeting is restricting. They think about it like you're on a diet, right? If you say you're on a diet, people will start asking, oh, you live on chicken and rice or you only live on salads? Very restricting, you know? This is often something that people think a diet means. And it's also the same with being on a budget. People think, okay, they have no money or anything, but it's actually the reverse. What a budget means and what a solid diet plan means is that you have intentional plan for the future, but also something in a budget-wise that will give you freedom. So it's a really good thing to do the budgeting. So let's talk through a little bit about the goals. The number one goal of budgeting is having a stability in your life. So having a budget will make you more stable. You're gonna feel more prepared if something happens. So for example, it will cover unexpected emergencies. This is very important. So you feel overall, not only you have a stable life, you understand where the money is going and how much you have left after all of your expenses. And also that you can cover all of these emergencies that might arise. Because most people, especially around America and in the EU, many people don't have enough in their emergency fund to even cover something that costs 1,000 euros. That is a big deal. You want to be able as well to invest in your future. Not only in your life now, it's nice, it's fun to spend now, but it's also very fun to save up to something that's a really good goal that will take you to the next step and lead you into your future where you have even more freedom. And another step is paying off debt efficiently. So if you can pay off your debt efficiently, that is something really good, because the more money you have left over after you're having your debt, the more you can use towards investing or buying these really nice things that you really wanted to do for a long time. So paying off those debts are really important, and that is very easy having a budget and a goal. All of this together allows you to live less stressy life, if you understand what I mean. So this is the goal of budgeting, of the whole thing. But now you might be asking, what is the method? And also, please comment down below, what is your budgeting goal for this year coming up 2026? Let me know in the comments. So let's talk about the method. So the method I'm going to talk about today is the 60-20-20 method. And there is many methods out there. I think the original one is 50-30-20. But I like to just give this one as an example, just so you understand a little bit about the process. So this would mean that around 60% is your needs. So this is 60% of your income. So what you get into your account, not before taxes. And here you want to be able to spend all of the 60% within a specific category. Needs mean it's the house, the mortgage, if you're renting, but it's also food, utilities. So everything that you need to cover the four walls of your house, your home, so that you can live, literally. Yeah? This is what you need. The next step would be your wishes. So this is a little bit what I would call either fun money, or you call it wish money, anything where you can spend more freely. So you have a budget for this as well, preferably. So this would mean this is your gym membership. It means your Netflix, your HBO, all of these different apps that cost money every single month, your subscriptions, your phone bill, all of these are more of a wish. It's not a need. So if you are in a really tough spot, try get the payments down as much as possible. Do you really need the ad-free program? Do you really need the most expensive mobile planning? I went from 60 gigabytes down to 20, and that was an amazing deal because I more than halved the payment that I paid to the company, but I don't even use that much. I might be using at the maximum 15 because you're using your Wi-Fi most of the time anyway. Right? So the only time you would really use your data would probably be when you're out and about a little bit, and then you don't use much anyway. So this is a very important step. And then, of course, we have the savings. So here around 20% goes to your savings, and it's not only like savings and investing, it's other things as well that I'm gonna go through next. And I just want to say as well that yes, this is 60-20-20, but that doesn't mean that this is something that is set in stone. You can actually set up a plan how you want and how you want to be flexible, but doing it this way means that you have more security in your life. And I put 60% because I understand that many people have it harder now with higher mortgages, the payment of your rent is higher, the electricity bill is going skyrocketing, especially in the UK and Sweden, and probably other places as well, but these are the ones that I know more. That is why I upped that one to be a little bit more realistic with you all. In case something happens, how can we protect ourselves? Well, we have the various kinds of protection. Before we go into the savings and investments, so I want to talk about these things that are very important. So we have first the emergency fund. So I want you to start saving for an emergency fund that can cover up to 1,000 euros. And in the future, you will upgrade this into like a 3 to 6 months even of a fully funded emergency fund. This will make sure that you can be out of your job if you lose your job, or you want to do a business adventure, anything like this, you are covered for a couple of months. I would recommend if you're doing a business adventure, maybe save up even a year of your expenses just to make sure that you can survive. But this emergency fund is there to cover if something unexpected comes up and you can cover it. It could be your car breaks down, a laundry machine that breaks, or anything else that just comes up. But this doesn't mean that your auntie's birthday or Christmas and things like that, that is not an emergency because you have had your whole year to plan for these things. So that is just something that we can put into our budget when we make it to start saving small incremental amounts just so we have something for that gift when the day comes around. Like a little bit of a gift savings. Very nice. And then we don't have to stress when that birthday comes around. And it also makes you feel freedom, because once you have 1,000 euros or more saved up where you can access it quickly in case of an emergency, that feels amazing. And if you have this already, if you're on that step already, you can probably agree with me down below that this is something that makes you feel much better. And then we have retirement as well. You might have this already in your job, especially if you're from Sweden or somewhere, you get this with your job, but also it's really good to have it private as well. So that's why I put it in here. So this makes sure that you have extra cash for the day when you are retiring, and it would actually maybe unlock the possibility of retiring early. We all probably want to retire early, so with having a private fund, you can actually boost your speed that you are going to be able to retire, and it gives you more control. So the retirement account, I would recommend having in an account where either you have tax benefits or a lower tax amount. So what I want to do now is go into practice. So let's do that. So I want to show you how to fill in a budget and how to get started. So down below, you can pause the video and then download my free template that is down there in the description. And if you want to follow along, then you can do that. You can watch the video afterwards again and fill it in with the video, or you do it yourself. It's very simple to start. While you're down there as well, please comment on what your financial goals are. Hit the like and a subscribe. That would be amazing as well. So let's get straight into how to fill in a budget sheet. In this part, we want to go through our budget planner. Yes! So let's go through the budget planner here. So right in front of you, you will now see it opened. So in here, you will then put your income. In my example, I will go from a Swedish median income, which was roughly 3,000 euros. So I will put that in here, right there, 3,000. If you earn commissions, you can add that, or you have extra incomes, just add them down here below as well. So I have tried to make it a little bit easier here to understand. So on this column here, you have the needs, and then you have more of wish items on your right. You have your savings, you have your loans, and down below you have some fun money as well. So let's say you're renting, you don't have a mortgage. An average rent might be around 800 euros in Sweden, something like this. And it automatically calculates here for you how much you have left to allocate. So what you want to do, you will want to hit 0 on this. If for any reason you go minus, that means that you have overspent. So you can do this throughout your first month just to see where is my money going. And every time there is an expense that is not calculated, you can add it into the sheet. So petrol, for example, you might have a car, you take petrol, maybe it costs 200 euros a month to fill that up at least. Then we have food. Well, me and my fiance, we're probably spending around 250 on that. We have cleaning and utility items per month, maybe 40. Then we have water. This here is calculated for per month. So we add in a certain amount every month and it calculates out that way. So the amount is lower here. But we have roughly per 3 months, let's say 60 per month there. Water is actually lower than this, but for example wise. So I put 20 here. So 60 divided by 3. We have life insurance. Yeah, that's around 10 per month there. And pet, not much either. So around, let's say 10. Then I have a gym membership as well. And I might add some protein powder. So this is my normal expense. I can't even spell. Protein powder. I can't even spell today. And that is usually pretty expensive, 40 euros a month. Then we have your entertainment. So this is usually where most of the money goes, right? So we have Spotify, we have Netflix, we have HBO, and obviously most of us are paying for Wi-Fi. So in that way, you might have to spend around 30 or more per month. I think it's pretty expensive, and I have around 50 euros per month in this category. You would also add your phone. So if you don't have HBO, you can just change it. It's your phone bill for example, and that might cost 35-40 euros a month, you know. Clothing. If you're a person that likes to shop clothing every month, it's good to have that calculated already into your budget. That's what we put in here. Shampoo, for example, you can put that into your utilities as well, like a need. Depends how you want to do it. The most important thing is that you have a plan. Then you have fun money down here. We come to that in a little bit, because first we have all of our expenses here now. But first, we're going into even more expenses, your loans. So most people have loans, and that's why I've added this category here. So you might have a car payment, and that car payment might cost you around roughly 250 euros a month. So it's a pretty hefty amount that you have for a car payment. Many people have even more, so make sure it's added into your budget. And then, because we are going this 60-20-20, means that we have roughly 600 euros left that we can use for savings. So if we calculate that, that should actually be really good. We have actually 867 euros left to play with after all of our expenses. So let's say we want to have some holidays soon. We might actually want to spend roughly 100 euros per month on this. We want to have a down payment for a house. We might want to get the house faster. But if you don't have an emergency fund, I want you to put most of your money into the emergency fund first. Absolutely no investing or anything until the money is in there. You want to have a little bit coming up to your house. So that's 100 there. You can even go even higher. You take all 600 into here. That means that we have actually saved more than 20% this month, right? I want you to, for example, take down the holiday, take down the down payment of a house, put it all into your emergency fund until that is sorted. Once it is, then we can start looking into other items. You could invest a little bit more. And when I put investment here, it's long-term investment in a global index fund, for example. That is what we would put in there. And on holiday or a down payment, for example, you would take a smaller savings account that gives you a little bit of interest. It's much safer than going into bigger investments. So down here, I would say fun money. So let's say we are in an ideal world where we have 167 euros left to play with. Then we could actually put here other investments. Other investments. There we go. We can put these 167 in there. That means that all of your money has now a purpose. We are zeroed out. All of it has a purpose, really good. But other investments, that means like fun money. You can do whatever you want. You can do mom's Christmas present, Christmas, or you want to spend it all on getting more investments, or you want to save extra for a TV, things like this. So this is the best way to start having a budget, and it's very easy to fill it in. I want to have your feedback as well in the video. What you think about this Google Sheets. I will update it as well, of course, in the future, but this is what I want to give all of you for free just to get started. So that was all about budgeting, and I hope you really enjoyed this video all the way to the end, where I could show you what the goals are for budgeting, how to get out of it, what is the solution, and also how to start filling it in yourself with my guidance. Thank you very much for watching, and I recommend to watch this next video coming up on the screen, and also give the video a like and subscribe. That would mean a lot to me, and I hope to see you soon again. Thank you.